Hey guys, we are back with another little draw along. This time we're going to be doing Sonic the Hedgehog because that was one of the other most requested ones so far. But when I started thinking about it, I was like, Sonic is a little similar in a way to our panda, so I'm going to see if I can do this little Shopkin too for you little kids. Just as a review, these are some of the things that you are going to need to remember. The big important things for drawing is first our simple shapes right here, our triangle, square, oval, circle, and rectangle. So make sure you're noting the difference between the square and the rectangle and the oval and the circle. Oh, I'm having a problem. So with our lines, there is the horizontal line. It goes from left to right. We have our vertical line that goes up and down. And we have our diagonal that goes at an angle. You have your zigzag line and your curved line. Those are the main 5 types of line and some of the main types of shapes, I guess. So back to our Sonic the Hedgehog up here. We've got this nightmare going on right here, which thankfully was remade into this beautiful Sonic over here. I found this picture, I really liked it online, and this one. And we're gonna maybe start with the little Shopkin though. So the Shopkin's going to be pretty easy, so let's see if we can go ahead and get started on that. When I'm looking at these, I am again looking for simple shapes. So whatever it is that you see, I would like to say there's kind of an oval or a triangle type shape there. But again, any type of shape you see. So I'm probably going to start with a bit of a circle or oval. Remember, you can always use your eraser. You're just trying to find your line that you like. And then it does come down a little bit more like a triangle. So I'm going to drop a bit of a triangle part off here. It does curve at the bottom. And always remember to erase your guidelines. I'm not going to get too stuck on that yet. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. We can go ahead and put in some basic shapes to kind of make sure that this is going to be a good size. Just some ovals showing where I want these leaves coming off of. Rectangle for the stem. Kind of a triangle here coming off the side. And I'm just going to put big circle type shapes for the flowers. Just again blocking in these areas where I want these shapes to go. Round this out a little bit more. Our little Shopkin gets a little thicker down here, so we can just change that line a little bit. Kind of ovals or circles. Remember, you gotta be drawing lightly or you will not be able to erase parts like that. Oval or circle. Let's see, let's go and add to these eyes. I think I made my eyes a little more ovally and they're actually more circular. So just make sure you're paying attention to your picture. Things I've seen is in examples we have or that you guys have submitted already. You don't have to stop where I do. If you want to add more, you are welcome to. So these videos are mostly a starting point. They don't have to be the ending point, if that makes any sense. You are welcome to add color if you have colors at home. You're welcome to add other interesting things to it. So my example at the end of this will have a Shopkin next to a Sonic the Hedgehog. So if you don't want to draw both of those, you don't have to. It's your choice. Oops. So The mouth is a little more complicated. I'm going to start with a wide oval, and then I'm going to have like this mountain line, a zigzag line, and then another one, kind of like that. And a curved line for the open part of the mouth, and another curved line for the bottom part of the lip. Might be able to move this down a little bit more. I'm gonna do my best to not let these get as long, but that seems to be a lie that I keep telling myself. So these seeds are just raindrop shapes. If you can't draw a raindrop, it's just like an oval with a triangle on top, just like that. So you're just practicing at home. Remember, you're doing your best. Doesn't have to look like mine. You can draw a different type of face. You could draw more eyelashes if you wanted to. You can add some more little eyelashes on here. I probably will not be coloring this, but you are welcome to. If you're cleaning up your lines as you go, it should be easy. Another nice thing when you're coloring, if you want to trace your lines once you're finished with your drawing, trace it in black marker or Sharpie if your parents have Sharpies, or they'll let you use the Sharpie. But if you don't have to have a marker. You can just carefully color in your shapes. So I went ahead and shaded in the eyes. So over here, I'll do my next eye. I start out with a big circle inside that circle. So we got our big circle inside this big circle, and that's where the green is. Then we're going to have another big circle, which is the black part of the eye or the pupil. And then there's that white circle for the highlight. So I draw that in, and then I finish this circle and shade it in. Remember, when you're shading, you don't have to press super duper hard. Alright, let's fix up these feet down here. This one on the right does overlap a little, so you're not going to see this part of the foot on the left here, because the foot on the right here is on top just a little bit. I saw a lot of people that were forgetting to erase things or erase lines that you shouldn't see. Remember, if that line goes behind something, you are not going to see it, so you need to erase it. Or you get to be lazy and you don't have to draw it at all. Little heart in here. Let's go ahead and maybe we'll shade in the heart. Yeah, let's shade the foot in. So again, I am shading to make sure that this stands out still. I'm going to be shading lightly into the foot, and I made sure to go over this line here a little darker. You can do that with pencil as well. You just press a little harder. That's why it's important to not always be pressing hard. Just difference in values, difference in a lighter gray versus that really darker gray. Oops. Alright, let's go ahead and make this leaf up here a little bit bigger. Alright, so we have this upside down raindrop shape now for our leaf. And now paying attention to our picture, it does curve in a little bit, and there's that line in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and start there. Pull that curve out and over. If you want to do a simple leaf, just bring it down into a point and you can pretty much be done. I'm going to try and make it a little more like this one in our picture. I love this little zigzag they have right there. That's such a nice little zigzag. A happy little zigzag. Some little zigzags over here. Get that little bit of a line that comes up. Very light line. There is some shading up here. So if you're using colors, you're gonna want to use a darker green up at the top and then more of a yellow green at the bottom. I am not coloring, so I'm just gonna shade in a little bit and blend it. And there we go. That's pretty good. Remember, guys, you're doing the best you can. You are always welcome, and I love seeing. I saw a lot of people doing extra stuff, and that was so exciting. Our panda that we did last week, apparently I had some people that wanted to be more accurate in what they were feeding their pandas, and they drew bamboo for their panda, which is probably a lot healthier for our panda than that cupcake was. I had some pandas that had cakes and cupcakes because they know what it's about. So I'm just trying to get some little curves showing these other leaves on the side here and shading it in lightly. You're not going to see all of the details for all of these leaves up here, so it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Just a little curve and zigzag. And I shade it in a little, and I darken this line so it still stands out some. You want to do some of these like curves and diagonals, that's fine too. Let's see, let's go ahead and get this flower. So I drew a large circle here. I'm going to move it over just a little bit. And no, no, a flower isn't a circle, but this is a good size to fit our flower into. It's about that size over here. So it is a placeholder. It's your bookmark, basically. Now I can put a little circle inside and go ahead and shade it in. This is for the center circle on the flower. And then I'm going to just come off with a little curve for our flower petal. Another curve, you can erase that part. I don't like that. Let's just make one here. That's the only big annoying part about flower petals is when you get to the end and there's just not enough room for a nice flower petal in there. I'm going to erase our guideline, that giant circle we had, clean up this a little bit, and that's pretty good. Now we have our little flower. Remember, you can always go back and play this again. You can pause me and so I can go a little bit slower for you. I'll put in another curved line over here and here because it looks like there's like another flower maybe hidden behind this flower. I am not a Shopkin expert, so I have no idea, but maybe you guys do, or you girls do. It's a little darker at the end here, so I'm going to just put a little bit of light marks and then blend them for our shading. So I did a circle here, so it's gonna have a curved line that zigzags and curves back in, then erase that. I'm gonna shade in most of this so it stands out a little bit. I'll widen her cheek up here a little bit. This one's a lot longer. Curved line. Covers up this line here for the strawberry. So it's wrapping around her face. So you're not going to see that part of the strawberry because it's covered up. So make sure you erase it. I'm going to redo this lower. Made it a little too big. Go ahead and shade this in. I'm doing the same shape here, just a curved line underneath with another curved line. I just didn't like how low it came. And if you press lightly, you guys thought you'd get away from hearing me say that. Press lightly and it'll erase very easily. We've got some like blush over here. I don't want to shade in this whole thing, so I'm just gonna shade in a little cheek, a little oval for her cheek here. Kind of just blend it out so we still have that blush. If you end up coloring this, I would color it lightly with red all over. But I would probably honestly start with yellow on the highlight areas, so I knew that they stayed pretty bright because there's a big amount of yellow up here and in her cheeks there. Oh, I almost forgot over here. Let's see, so we've got our big circle for our flower. I'm gonna put the little circle inside. And come off of it with our flower petals. Erase those guidelines we don't need. Clean it up some. Looks like there's little lines here. It's like a little sun inside a flower. Got that other flower here. Other leaf, which is another upside down teardrop shape, kind of, with those little cute little zigzags on that side. Why are they cute? I don't know. I'm just gonna call them cute. I've been watching this British baking show, and there's a guy on it that calls things cheeky. A little cheeky zigzag line there. I want to call things cheeky, but I'm not British, so I don't know if I can get away with it. Little diagonals, and we can shade in a little bit over here so it's a little darker. And that's pretty much it. You could add some more seeds if you wanted to. You could shade in the seeds, if you wanted to as well. But I'm just shading in the seeds because I'm going to to leave the skin just white. I'm not gonna color or shade in the skin really. And that's pretty much it, guys. So there's our Shopkin really quick. You can add a little part underneath her, showing she's like standing on the ground. And let's come over here and start on Sonic. I'm gonna start with a big circle. His head is like a lot bigger than his body. Triangles for his ears. Oval for his body. Rectangles for his legs. And an oval for his feet. Now, if you don't want to worry about drawing his feet and legs, you do not have to. You can just draw a picture of his face for me, so long as you're adding a lot of detail, because adding in his hands and feet is going to make this a little more difficult. Rectangle, rectangle for his arms. His arm does bend here. Clean up our guidelines a little bit. With his hand, there's a rectangle for the cuff of his glove, and then his big old hand, which I'm just going to leave as an oval for right now. Again, over here, big rectangle for the cuff of the glove, and his hand, which I'm just going to leave as an oval. Down here. Kind of a rectangle shape. So here's the big rectangle shape for the top of his shoe. Put a smiley face curve where his leg goes into the shoe. Just gonna come down a little bit. And then his foot is kind of an oval triangle shape. Down like that. I don't know if you can see that triangle kind of shape there. I hope this one doesn't get too difficult for the little kids. He is a little more complicated. Alright, up to the face before I start getting too distracted on all of these things down here. And I'm going to put his little oval nose in the middle, kind of as my guideline to where things are going to go. This is kind of a diamond shape here. So diagonal, diagonal, and kind of connects to the outside part of, or the curve of his head that we already drew on the bottom. So kind of a diagonal and a diagonal. It's going to curve up here a little for his cheek. Curve over here. And put an oval for his eye here. Make his a little bit bigger. separated. Curve. Yes, no, it's just a little bit smaller. Alright. That was a bit complicated, but really just kind of an oval shape. You could even just use an oval here if you wanted to, or just an oval that sits on top of this shape for his, I don't know what you call this, I guess his muzzle or snout or his lower face. Let's see. Curves up. Sorry for my messy lines here. We'll see if we can clean them up here in a minute. Now, in here you can see those zigzag lines. Ziggy. So you can add that zigzag line to the outer part of our triangle. Erase the triangle line. Shade in this inside part of his ear. Triangle, shade it in. Little spiky things, I guess, that come off the back of it. His oval on his belly. And shade in all of his skin. Again, if you are coloring at home, I would be using blue for this. If you look at the picture, you can see that there are some darker blue areas, at least in this one down here, and some lighter blue areas. So you can try doing some light blue in areas and dark blue in others. If you go outside the lines a little, make sure you clean it up with your eraser. Something I saw quite a few people doing and not cleaning it up. Remember, clean it up if you make a little mistake or if it gets a little messy when you're blending or shading. His mouth is kind of a banana shape. Just a curved line with a long, another curved line underneath. not liking the way his eyes are coming out. I have to zoom in just a little bit, guys. But you just gotta hang in there. You'll figure it out. And it takes time. Even Miss Mobley gets frustrated sometimes. This means you gotta challenge yourself and hang in there. There we go. So I blended and shaded this in because that is the green area of his eyes. There, I don't feel too bad about that now. Or as bad. I had a lot of people asking, do you have to draw exactly the thing I'm drawing? If you want to get a different picture of Sonic or a different Shopkin, you're more than welcome to. I would like if you tried to at least do the same subject, meaning don't draw like don't draw a Power Ranger or a Beyblade or something like that. I would want you to kind of be drawing a Sonic or a Shopkin or both if you wanted to. But if you really don't like Sonic and you really don't like Shopkins either, so long as you are drawing something that has about the same level of detail, meaning don't draw a smiley face emoji for me and submit that because that would be lazy. So your goal is to not be lazy for this, hopefully. We're going to be doing these drawings for a while, so I want to see that you are trying and that you are improving as we go. Add this curvy part to our rectangle, making it look more like cloth there. You're welcome to just leave it as a rectangle. I don't know if I want to get into hands with you guys right now, but I guess we're gonna have to. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult area here, so you're going to need to pay attention to your shading, or if you're coloring, it probably won't be as difficult. So I have this kind of the body here next to these two blue areas, and oops, they're just shaded in here for me, but you need to go a little darker on this line for the body here to make sure that these two areas don't just blend into a big blob. Let's make sure you can tell where that's at. "35 minutes, not too bad, considering we're drawing two things." Kind of a curvy line, just like that. Curvy line. Erase and clean up. So I put in some horizontal lines and then just blend with my finger. Remember, if it gets too blended, too soft, go back over like I did right there with that line so it still stands out. You don't want it all turning into a soft blob. Add some little zigzags over here too, the side of his face. So now this is a soft blob, so let's darken some areas up, move back over these lines a little so they still stand out. I haven't seen the movie yet for Sonic the Hedgehog. I've heard a lot of people say it's good. Might have to watch that later. I had a bunch of new students telling me, oh my goodness, Miss Mobley, you have to go watch it. So maybe I'll go watch that later. Darken up that triangle for the inside of his ear some. And just add a little more attention to those zigzags. Alright, I'm feeling a lot better about this now. See, you just gotta stick in there. You gotta hold out. You gotta be stubborn. You gotta be like, no, I'm not gonna give up. Glad I didn't give up. I was tempted. I was gonna stop the video and start all over. But I didn't. We persevered. That's a really big word. We were stubborn. We held out. We didn't give up. No quitters here. It's hard when you're drawing because sometimes it gets so, it's not as good as you want it immediately and you're like, psh, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not an artist. But you just gotta keep practicing. Alright, now we're to the part that Miss Mobley was trying to avoid for so long here. The hand. We're gonna start down here on this hand. If you just want to leave this an oval, guys, I totally understand. So, we have our oval. We have this kind of small, big oval coming off of it for his big old thumb. Ooh. This part of the palm. Just do the best you can with his hand, guys, because unfortunately it's a bit hard to explain hands in a simple way. The most simple I could get really is that the fingers are kind of ovals, long skinny ovals or rectangles. A little shading on the inside here for his palm. Might be the best we're gonna get quickly, because we're at 40 minutes again. I guess 40, 45 minutes is just gonna be the amount of time we're gonna have to take for these. Rectangle, ovally rectangle. Make sure you're counting fingers. Sometimes you lose track of them and you end up with 6 fingers or 4 fingers. Seems silly, but I know I've done it. And his thumb. Give him a big old thumb here. Big old thumbs up for sticking it out. Alright, now we can shade around this area some more. For his little spiky hedgehog doodads going on back there. It's a little bit bigger. Blend it. Remember, when you're blending in this area, it's going to get too soft and you might want to go back over those cheeky zigzags. Alright. I do not want to spend a lot of time, a lot more time on this. So, see if you can add more to the shoes. Add more around him. Draw his friend, Tails. Was Tails in the movie? I don't remember ever seeing him in the preview. Comes up and around. So again, remember, you're just doing your best. I know that some of these shapes that I've drawn are pretty complicated here. But if you can't get the more complicated ones, just go back to these simple shapes, guys. Take your time, do your best. Draw lightly. Let's make his foot a little bit bigger. Alright, so we got our Shopkin and we've got our Sonic the Hedgehog. I think that's a pretty good amount of work today. I had some people asking, so if you are a 3rd, 4th, or 5th grader that is watching this video, you are welcome to do this one as well as the other one, because 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders will be getting 2. You do not have to do both drawings. You don't have to watch both videos. You're welcome to just pick one. But if you want to have something else to draw, you have 2 videos that you can watch. Again, it is up to you. Just make sure whatever it is you're drawing, you are adding about the same amount of detail. Meaning, if you really don't like Sonic the Hedgehog and you don't like Shopkins, I don't want a drawing that's just this emoji. Is that the same amount of detail? Not even close. So you will need to add or draw something, pick something, look online, find a picture, find reference. Reference is a big fancy word for find pictures to help you, to guide you along the way, because it is a lot more difficult to draw without reference, especially when you are just starting out. Just try to see if you can add something else to make it a little bit different. I think that's pretty good. Oh, he's got a little tail. I didn't even notice that. He's got a little bit of a tail down here. Right. I think that's a pretty good stopping point. This mobile gets a little too crazy and keeps going and going. That's why all of our videos turn into 40 to 45 minutes. But I did 2 for you guys for this one, which I did not even realize I was gonna do. So there you go. You snuck 2 drawings out of me, guys. Show where he's kind of standing on the ground here. And I say that's pretty good. So just do your best. Pick whichever ones you want to draw. And remember, again, our simple shapes and our 5 basic lines. Those are what you need to have to start with. And that's all I used for over here. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. I guess I should go ahead and sign it. And what's today's date? 3/31/2020. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that and you had fun and that you were drawing along. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.